Today, let's talk about how to know that your manifestation is close. How to know that you actually changed your state of being and therefore you're about to experience your manifestation. And I also have a confession to make. So you see, I want to prove to you that I'm also not perfect and it's okay. I also forget who I am at times and I can screw myself over. But in those moments is when I gain the most wisdom. So let's just jump in, shall we? Okay, so how do you know your manifestation is close? Babe, let me clarify this. This is a myth, okay? This is a lie. Because nothing could be this far to even be close. What do I mean by this? Everything is already here, my love. Do you get me? Everything is already here now. Everything is present here now. The only thing that makes the difference is your perception. Because when you say, I am not something, you basically deny yourself access from it. You deny yourself from seeing it. That's all what happens. So your manifestation is already here, my love. It's always been here. Everything always is. So there's no such signs that you are about to manifest what you want. At least not in the common sense or how people understand this, okay? How to know that you are on the timeline where you have what you want? Well, my love, look inside. Look inside. And I'm going to give you an example soon, okay? So you understand. Because by now, if you really understand the law of assumption, you know that there's nobody else to change but self. What does this even mean? Well, again, you're going to be able to perceive that which you want once you change your mind about what you're seeing. It's never about what happens on the outside, never about the bank account, never about the numbers or whatever SP says or does. And it's always about your attitude towards it. What do you make it mean? Because your meaning becomes your whole reality. The zero in your bank account, my love, could mean whatever for you. If you make it mean that zero means you're broke, then you are broke. But because you say so, it's not in the number, it's in the implication. If you're left unseen by somebody, if somebody doesn't reply to your messages, what do you make that mean? What do you make it mean for you? Because that's how you're going to experience it. You and your perspective are one. The way you look at things, that's how you're going to experience them. Reality is not universal. Reality doesn't happen outside, my love. Reality happens on the inside. If I tell you right now, go to hell, if you get offended by this word, then this is how you're going to experience my words. Your whole reality will be, I am offended. If you take it any other way, like, I don't know, maybe you can also assume this is my way of talking. And, well, you don't give it importance, you know it's not about you, then your experience would be so much different. Your reality would be so much different, right? Now, how to tell if you actually changed and you are on the timeline where you want to be? So I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me, for example, yesterday, because it's very fresh. So, I have a very fresh example, but not because that I know, but it's part of it. Let me explain. So yesterday I was at my local grocery store and there was a guy in front of me that was struggling to pay for his stuff. I think he pulled out 2 credit cards, none of them was working, or I don't know exactly what was happening, but I know that we were staying in line and the guy was struggling, okay? So out of nowhere, girl, I don't know, out of nowhere, without even thinking about it, I said to this guy, do you want me to handle it? Do you need help? Do you want me to pay for it? And he was like, no. Anyways, what do I mean by this? So I didn't have to look in my bank account to know if I can help the guy out, okay? This is, if you want, this is proof that I am indeed wealthy. And the proof comes from inside, you see? I was not worried a minute about, I didn't even ask how much it was, right? It was the impulse, because once you are it, you manifest it. So I am a mentor, right? So this is what I'm manifesting. I'm mentoring. I'm a coach, I'm coaching. Do you get my drill here? So this is how you know that you actually changed, because you don't identify with the same old person anymore. Only a couple of years ago, that guy struggling to pay for his groceries was me. Was me. I was identifying strongly with I don't have enough. So I didn't. It didn't matter how much money I had in my bank account. I always gave myself the experience that it was not enough. And as a result, here comes the confession, okay? And as a result, last summer, I lost my house. So it didn't happen overnight, of course. It happened after a couple of months of me panicking, like living in complete paranoia every day. So I was struggling. I was a tarot reader. I was about to change to what I'm doing today. I was sick of tarot readings, and I didn't have the courage to come out with all I know, right? And by that time, I was living in a super nice area. I had my huge apartment. Everything was fine, perfect. I loved everything about that lifestyle that I had, okay? But because I assumed that once I make the transition to what I'm doing today, things are gonna get tough for me. So they were, girl. I assumed, see, the classic assumption that all beginnings are tough and hard. And yeah, I just gave myself a freaking hard time. You don't know, girl. So I was waking up every day in panic. I would try to soothe myself, everything is okay. I knew that I'm the creator, okay? I knew all I know today. I was not far off. But 3D was coming at me so hard. Like, whenever I managed to soothe myself, my landlord called, or my accountant called, or the bank, or whoever the hell. I had 3D in my face constantly. And I knew that I should stop reacting if I want to stop recreating the same circumstances and avoid manifesting away this apartment, right? I knew it, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't freaking help it. And I took it so far away that I lost my apartment. And I had to move in with my mom. At 30 fucking 3 years old. For me, this was like the ultimate failure, okay? I've been independent all my life. I started working when I was 18. Always managed myself. So for me, this represented the ultimate fucking failure. So I spent months feeling like a failure. I started making content. I deleted all my tarot readings from my old channel, in Spanish, by the way, and I started posting content on manifestation, the exact same thing that I'm teaching you right now. But I was not making money. Why? Let me see if you understand why. Well, first off, I was making those videos out of desperation. I desperately needed money. I was desperately trying to change my 3D. Instead of going in, I am already wealthy, and doing content from there as I do it now, I was doing this content from I'm broke. So it didn't matter, girl. So I had, oh my gosh, I had multiple coaching options. And I even had a Facebook group for 15 euros a month. That's dust, girl. That's freaking pennies. And even then, I was struggling to get subscribers, girl. Do you get my drill here? It's not in what you do. It's not in the price you place on your services. It's in none of this stuff. And on top of this, when I arrived at my mom's house, because she was the one that was working only, yeah, we had a fucking hard time. I felt pressure every day. And we would fight a lot because of this. And she would say to me, give up this coaching bullshit. Go find a normal job. And then when you are, back on your feet, you can start again. Girl, I was close, so close on giving up on this countless times. But in my darkest moments is when I found the biggest wisdom. Girl, in those moments I had to genuinely learn how to isolate the outside world outside. Like to stop giving a flying, you know about what my mom said, about if I had or not clients, and just be what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to be a mentor. I wanted to change lives. So instead of doing my content to get something from outside, I started doing content because this is who I was. Girl, I cannot tell you. The first month when I opened my TikTok page, girl, I made a lot of money. And I'm still making a shit ton of money. I didn't even expect it, okay? And that's what I want to say here. Girl, it's okay if you sometimes fall. I also do, okay? Even with all this knowledge, sometimes I really, sometimes you really can get caught in the 3D circumstances and you place the power outside of you and you're blind to who you truly are because, circumstance on top of circumstance. You keep on reacting and reacting and it looks like nothing is working for you, so nothing is working out for you. Do you get my drill here? So it's okay. Knowing about the law doesn't save you from giving yourself bad moments or hell on earth sometimes. And you know why? Because it depends on you. What you make any situation mean for you, this is how you're going to leave that situation. So do you have a guarantee that you will never ever place a bad meaning on something from now on? I don't. I know how the law works. I know how to apply it. I know how to share and teach it so others get what they want. But still, sometimes, I place also bad meanings on stuff, fully knowing what I'm doing. And it's even more frustrating, okay? So again, how do you know your manifestation is close? First off, because it's here. Again, it cannot be that far off to be even close. And second of all, you look at yourself and you changed. You changed the way you see your world. You changed the way you look at yourself. You changed the way you relate to circumstances. Girl, again, it's not in the numbers. Let me tell you this. I was freaking out. I thought we are starving or something. My mom kept on making food. Money was very little. That's true. And on top of this, her last job, they didn't even pay her. She worked for free for 2 months. We're in a fucked up situation, okay? Proof again that I am truly the creator of my reality because my state of being even got to affect my mom and her job. So her boss called her one day, I cannot pay you because bankruptcy. So she didn't pay her. She worked for free and we were in a really bad situation. And I was freaking out. I thought we don't have money to pay our stuff. I couldn't see. My mom always made something happen, She always did. But I was so blind because your state of being doesn't allow you to notice stuff. This is what happens also in most of cases with our SPs as well. When we manifest them away or when we manifest a third party. I have countless examples of people not seeing their SP telling them, hey, I love you, I want to be with you, proving that to them because they were expecting the opposite. For example, I had a client, I'm not going to give names, you know me. So I had a client that he was living with his SP. His SP started working in a different place, and she made friends among her colleagues. And she started going out a bit more than usual. So going out a bit more than usual doesn't mean anything, right? But to my client, he made this mean that she wants to spend more time with friends than with him. So he started focusing on that. Girl, you always have both sides of the glass in front of your eyes, both the full side and the empty side. But again, so he started making that mean that she prefers to spend more time with friends than with him. From that assumption, he went to, what if there's somebody she likes among those new colleagues, and that's why she spends so much time with them instead with him? So he started assuming that maybe there's a third party there. So he manifested just that. At some point, she wanted to break up, and she started dating somebody else. Again, this is how I lost my house. I was focusing, oh my God, I'm going to lose the house. I'm going to lose my house. I lost my freaking house. Because it doesn't matter if you focus on what you want or on what you don't want. What matters here is where your focus goes. My focus was on lose plus house. His focus was lose SP plus third party. So it doesn't matter if you put I want this before it or I don't want this. Do you get me? And you know why everything is always already here? Because you are the reality generator. Manifestation is instantaneous. The way you see things, that way the things are. This is how you're going to experience them. They're instantaneous. And I know you're going to tell me, yeah, but my logical mind, because yeah, if I see my girlfriend going out so much, of course I'm going to think, yeah, I understand. But manifestation is not about convincing your logical mind of the opposite. I'm so sorry. If you've been doing this, trying to brainwash yourself with affirmations, my love, that's a very tedious work. You don't have to do this. You don't need to do this. What you need to do is to have this realization. Whatever I see in front of my eyes right now is because the total opposite is also true. Truth doesn't only have one face. Reality is not only one for all of us. Or reality is not independent and objective and outside of you. I also had this trouble for many months, if not a full year, when I was learning how to manifest consciously. I was afraid that, maybe I'm making up some stories in my head and the reality outside there, it's another one, and I'm allowing, maybe a person to take advantage of me or I was afraid to be disappointed. What if one day all this, it never manifests and I'm gonna get a very rude awakening? So I wasted a lot of time being afraid to allow myself to experience that which I was waiting to experience from outside. So let me explain. When you want to be in a relationship, what you actually want is the experience of being loved and feel loved and prioritized and to know yourself the apple of the eye of somebody, or you know what I mean? It depends, whatever you understand by love, right? When you want money, you want freedom, you want to be able to have a life with no stress, to be able to travel, to not think about bills and rent, and that's what you actually want. So when you give this to yourself in your imagination, as Neville says, that's when your outside will also change. So before I can see those billions in my bank account, I have to experience inside being wealthy. And this experience I'm talking about, it's at the shift of mind distance from you. Because if you say, I am it, if you acknowledge, you don't have to convince yourself logically, this goes beyond. You acknowledge you're wealthy because you're all things, you must be also this, right? You acknowledge it and then you consciously choose to live your life as if. I am wealthy regardless of what's in my bank account. I am loved regardless of what my SP says or does. I am healthy regardless of what my fucking doctor says. If I claim this to myself, my doctor will have to come and tell me the same thing. If I claim being loved for myself, if I claim this experience and I live in it, I live as, yeah, I'm loved because I say so and I feel it, and I live as if I'm gonna see it everywhere. It's instantaneous. Love is gonna start revealing itself from all places to me, including from that SP that I want. If I give myself the experience of expansiveness and wealth and, and freedom, my bank account will start reflecting that back at me. And it doesn't matter where it comes from. Do you care, girl? Money is money. Do you care where you get that from? I don't. Yeah, okay, I have an avenue. I have my business. But I don't really care. You know what I mean? Money is money. Love is love. I enjoy all the love that I get. From my pets to my best friends to men and also to my followers, right? Love is love. I enjoy it all. Everything is instantaneous. The moment you say I'm loved and you really mean it, you're gonna see it everywhere. This is why it doesn't make sense when you say to me, I am manifesting my SP, but I don't see it yet in 3D. What do you mean, girl? You don't see it because you're not it. That's why you don't see it. You did not claim that for yourself. You think you did, but you didn't. Because if you keep on looking at your reality through the same old glasses, seeing the same old shit, I'm sorry to tell you, but you didn't change, my love. You say, I don't see it in 3D. How can you? How can you if you, inside of you, you're experiencing being in a process of manifestation, or you experience not being loved by your SP? If this is your identity, how can you see anything else outside? It's a matter of perspective, and your perspective will change once you change. Again, Neville said, and he's so damn right, girl. Nobody out there to change but self. There's nobody to change but self. Because this is true manifestation. I change myself so I can perceive what's already there, but was not available to me before because I was somebody else. From my former state of being of I don't have money, how could I? And it didn't matter how much I worked again, or the prices I put on my coaching, or it didn't matter. As long as I was the person who doesn't have money, doesn't make enough, the person that's losing her house, all this had to take form. I was the one commanding them, because it's always you. It's always you in charge. The meanings you give, everything that happens to you, that's gonna be your whole reality. And it's gonna keep on being there and staying in place until you change your mind. You think money is scarce? Okay, do this exercise, but consciously. I did this myself. I had to get myself out of this stupid idea that money is scarce. I started walking on the street and looking at everything that is money. I challenge you, find only one thing that it is not money or cannot be exchanged by money. The sidewalk, buildings, people clothes, cars, whatever, even nature, right? You can exchange water for money. You make out of wood furniture, whatever. You know what I mean? Now I don't have examples. Your ideas are money. I built my business on an idea. What I'm telling you right now is an idea. They're thoughts. I'm monetizing my thoughts. Okay, they're great. Yeah, true. But listen, if you boil this down, they're just words, thoughts. You can't escape money. And let me tell you cannot escape love either. Everything is love. The greatest example of love is nature. Love is giving. Nature doesn't say to you, hey, today, like the trees, right? Today no oxygen because you've been a bitch. They don't do they don't do that. You're surrounded by love. Your breath is love. This whole universe functions because of love. Because if only one thing stopped giving, everything would stop working. You know what I mean? So, what do you choose to see? Are you living in a hostile world? Okay, girl, okay. I don't want that. I know bad people exist, cheating exists, all this, yeah, like horrible people and horrible situations, but I don't choose them to form part of my experience. I know wars exist, but I don't want that in my experience. So, how do you edge out something that you don't want? By starving it of your attention. Because everything needs of you in order to be what they are, okay? Do you think it helps somebody that's going through awful situations right now if I cry for it? The hell no. If I feel sad about people going through hell right now, makes them not go through hell? No, that makes my world also be hell. And I also want to make this mention. I know how it sounds, but think about it. When you want to help somebody, you're not empathetic with them. Because you know how this looks like? They're drowning, and you go also in the water and drown with them because, poor guy or poor girl. Yeah, I'm empathetic. I feel you. Instead, what you do? You give them a hand. You raise them where you are. You don't go down with them. You know what I mean? I know how it sounds. Empathy. Okay, but how much is too much? I'm not helping you if I say, oh, I'm so sorry for you that your SP said to you that he wants to be with somebody else. Do I help you? No, I'm helping you by showing you the way. Anyways, this was a side note because I don't know. Sometimes I assume that maybe some people may see me like callous or unsensible, not sensible. No, girl, I'm not. All the contrary. I love a lot. And because I love you, I have to say to you what to do, okay? And because I love you, I have to show you also that I'm human and I'm not perfect. I know what to do perfectly. I mean, I got down the formula. I'm sharing it with you because this is what I want to be. This is what I am. The formula clearly works. You can see that in my comment sections. I used to post also success stories. I stopped doing that because that's a double-edged sword as well. Some people may compare their own journey to the success story and they say, oh my god, they got it in 1 week and I didn't. What am I doing wrong? And they steal their manifestation this way. That's why I don't do it anymore. But they're still there. You can go in the comment section and see it. So everything that I'm teaching you works. Please apply it. And it's okay if sometimes you screw over. I do that also. Life is nice, girl. I would hate for it to be only bliss and I don't know, butterflies and rainbows all the time and have everything my way. That would be boring as hell. So yeah, I think this is all I have to say for now. Again, remember, manifestation is instantaneous. Once you choose to see it, you're gonna see it. It's everywhere. It's a change of perspective, a change of identity. It's a change from going from I'm not to I am. That's all it takes. But genuinely, okay? You genuinely go from I am not to I am. You genuinely understand contrast. You understand that if you see the opposite of your desire, it's because you're seeing actually your desire, okay? It's not trying to fool the law. It ain't working. Because there's no escaping from your perspective. The way you look at things, that's the way things are. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. Okay, now I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you for being here with me, and talking to you soon. Bye bye.